a special feeling in Oldsmobile. There is a special feeling in Oldsmobile. More than the luxury ride, it's a feeling of pride that you feel inside.
You ever just start working on something and then realize you don't got the camera on? Well, that's this today. Well, I've already started working on the 1988 Cadillac DeVille Coupe. See if I can bring it out here for you. So that's it. It's been sitting here in my garage. I've actually been driving it a lot. But just came into a little bit of a problem. Been having coolant weep out on the driver's side here, and if you know anything about Cadillac V8s, they're not the most reliable thing in the world, and I thought it might have been a head gasket or intake or upper plenum or something was going wrong with it. It turns out just the radiator's cracked a little bit. It seems to be the original one from 19 whoever knows, 88, 89, something like that. So we're gonna snip this out. You know, pull this upper radiator hose, pull the lower radiator hose, take off any other external lines, and this thing, let me see if I can show you here. Now most cars just cool their power steering or whatnot through the radiator, but this one cools the power steering and the transmission lines as well. It doesn't have a separate transmission cooler or a separate oil cooler or whatnot. So we're gonna have to snip those lines off, and to do that I gotta pull this air box and stuff, but we're just gonna get started on it. I think I'm gonna start by removing the box. Then we're gonna drain all the coolant from this, see if I can figure out where the actual drain is, and go from there. And then we'll snip off the lines and hopefully get this thing out. All I've done so far is pull that. It's just this valance here. There's just a couple bolts. Nothing too bad. Just a couple, you know. So we'll get this thing done. I thought by 1988 we would have been done with this. Look at this. This is the tiniest heat riser I've ever seen. The pipe is only that big because it literally just sits on top of it. Oh my goodness. Well, that's one more thing to line up, I guess. So now that I got this out of the way, now I can actually get at these. Well, you can't see that. Hang on. There you go. Now you can see. So I need to take off this line here. This thing working. Good Lord. There you go. So we need to take off that line there, and then that one right down there. There you go. You can kind of see it. And then we need to take off the two down there. Possibly three. No, it's just two. And I think I might be able to actually reach the, there it is right down there. So I should be able to reach that down there and drain the fluid. Hopefully, if not. But yeah, so here's the car. I mean, if everything were moved, hang on, set that there. There's the throttle body. It's got 2 injectors. Actually, super clean. I can't believe it. Whoever owned this car really did take care of it. It's a shame that it ended up to the junkyard. I guess the family just didn't want the car. Either it'd be bad memories or good memories, but they hurt too much or something, and they decided to scrap the car. Well, I'm glad I got a hold of it. This job doesn't seem like it's going to be as hard as I thought it was. I'm going to make sure I'm going to eat my words there. And I just realized something too. This right here, that's the air compressor for the suspension. So that's pretty cool. At least it's easy access, unlike the Trofeo where it's like pushed up underneath the suspension. But yeah, this looks like it's going to go well. It's going to go really well. I really hope I don't eat my words on that. Well, I just reached the pepcock and it actually came out by hand. I'm surprised. So now it's draining. I'm not actually getting coolant around everywhere for once. So that's pretty cool. Not making a mess when doing a radiator. What in the world is this? So I think I'm just going to drain the lines. Or sorry, not drain the radiator here. I'm going to take a crack at these lines and see if they budge open. And then I think once the radiator gets low enough, I'll release this line here. See how much comes out. So seems like it's already draining pretty good. So yeah, once that's done, we'll come on back here and next should be pulling the radiator itself. All right, and we're back. So it took a lot to remove this radiator. I had to lift this thing up and down on the lift. I had to go underneath, remove these lines here, especially that one down below. Oh my gosh, that gave me so much trouble. I ended up just cutting the lower radiator hose, make it simple to pull out. I had to pull off this bracket here that goes right here for the fan and the shroud right there to go on. This is the old radiator. It's definitely seen some better days. This is the original one. And it was leaking right from the bottom here. There's like a small little crack right here on the side. So that's where it started weeping at. Honestly, other than that, this thing's not too bad. It's a pretty heavy duty radiator. I'm going to compare with the new one that I got just to make sure it's going to be able to cool adequately. But yeah, so I'm just working on removing the lower hose here. See it down there, it's chopped off. In order to take it off, you have to take off this screw. That is right, let's see here. It's right there. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if the light's like blurring it out or not. Come on, focus. It's right there. The camera doesn't want to focus, of course. Well, it's right there anyway. So it's between the exhaust manifold and all the vacuum lines and everything. So I gotta take a screwdriver in between here, all this, and then undo that hose clamp. They're both originals on this. You see here, this one. You actually had to access this one through a hole, but this one kept stripping out on me, so I just cut the hose right here. And luckily I cut it just in the right place because I was able to save the spring inside. So I'm going to have to take the spring out of this one and then put it in my new hose, which I have somewhere around here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing next. This radiator's been a little bit more troublesome than I thought. Well, maybe not. I knew this was going to be a bigger job. These V8s on Cadillacs aren't the best for working on. It's such a big engine. Or I guess it's not really big, but it's such a small engine bay, and being longitudinal, doesn't help either. Or is it not longitudinal? It's something like that. However the transverse or whatever they call it. So sideways, the wrong way, whatever you want to say. So yeah, I'm gonna remove that, and then next should be putting the new lower radiator hose in and the new radiator, as long as it's good. So I just gotta check that. After many tiring hours, the Cadillac is done. You can see my arm. It was a lot worse of a job than I thought it was going to be. I knew these Cadillac V8s were tight. Not a lot of room. Probably about a bit of a pain. Boy, was that a pain. Let me show you underneath here, or around this, show you what I did. So there we have it. Got it all back together. Air box, all that. That's this side over here. That was the easy portion. This side here, major pain. You see right here, there is zero room. I can't even fit my hand through there. I was lifting this car up, bringing it down, trying to get every which way. This hose, that hose. Got a new cap here. I gotta put the old cap on this because the one I was supposed to get never came in with my shipment. Had to tighten the lines here. Did the lower lines on that. Let me get the light here. So there's all the lines down in there. That bottom line there. That was a fickle and a half, I tell you. That one right there. And then the lower hose. The hose I thought I was going to have a problem with, didn't. It actually went on really smooth. I was able to, with the radiator removed, I was able to go in there, in between here, the manifold and the power steering lines. I was able to tighten up the bracket, and underneath here, I was able to go through a hole in the subframe to tighten up that bottom one. So that shouldn't leak or anything. Guarantee these hoses are going to leak. Probably the ones on that side. Not going to lie. I got to figure out where these lines even go. I think these are power steering. Possibly. I have a feeling they are. Let's actually check in here. In the reservoir. See how low that is. Look at that. It looks like mud. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like mud. I don't think that's high enough either on this. Let's check that again. Yeah, it's right at the add line. So I gotta get some power steering fluid for this. I know I definitely gotta put some oil in. The oil cooler is integrated with this radiator on this side. The lines go from here, underneath here, to the oil filter that's way down in there. Actually, you want to grab the light again? The oil filter is way down in there. Kind of see it. It's that white thing right there. So, and you see, when I took out that line, it leaked quite a bit of oil everywhere. So, definitely have to do that. Probably just end up doing an oil change, putting more power steering fluid in. It doesn't seem like this Cadillac has a external transmission cooler at all. Which is kind of weird. Maybe they just didn't do that in '88, honestly. I really don't know. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna fill this up with fluid now. I'll set you guys up on the tripod and see if everything holds together. Maybe. Let's hope. Well, here it is. I filled it up with a bit of coolant. Hopefully it's enough. I think I'm gonna add some more once I start it here. I'm gonna check for leaks. Hopefully nothing leaks. And yeah, hey, here goes. Well, everything seems to be going well. No overheating light or anything. Huh, engine sounds pretty good too. Everything seems to be right. I just wish I had gauges for this thing. Well, there you have it. It's all filled with coolant. Let it cool down, poured some more in. Got rid of most of the air bubbles. I'm gonna have to drive this, but I can't do it today. It's already too late and I got my other cars in the way. But yeah, finally got this done after 2 days of working and 2 days of slacking. Definitely one of the more challenging projects I've ever done on a GM front-wheel drive car, and that's saying something because I've done a lot of projects. These 4.5 liter V8s, I mean, they're hard to work on, but they're not impossible. I mean, there's always worse out there, like a North Star or something. But yeah, I think that's it for now. If you heard earlier, there's like some squeaking. I'm thinking it's this idler pulley, so I'm probably gonna have to replace that in the future, but I'm gonna leave it for now. It doesn't seem to be doing too much, but I bet it'll break eventually. So that'll be the next project, and maybe some cleaning up in the engine bay. It's pretty dirty underneath here. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next project. Hopefully the next one will be rebuilding that 425. Got the block in, and it's all set to go pretty much. Gotta clean the pistons and slap it together. So see you then.